Hello and welcome to the Stove Show, episode 2. We did it.
Yeah, we made an episode.
We done did it, boys.
Took us a week and a half.
Yeah, I love that I did 4 talks with you guys and finally got an email saying, "Hey, we've got one done." Okay. What happened to the other 3?
Yeah.
I digress.
So, anyways, I'm Nick Gennerich here, Enjay. We got Stove to my right.
How are you doing, people?
Across from me, Brent Nelson, aka Perk Chop.
To the boys, yeah.
To the boys. And to my left, Reg.
Hello, all.
Returning.
Good to see you. Good to be here. Good
So,
to chat.
how's everyone doing on this beautiful night?
I wouldn't call it beautiful. I mean, we're in Saskatchewan.
Here's the thing: we're in Saskatchewan in the middle of November. It was a nice day today. I can't complain too much.
I cleaned a hot tub.
It was like -2. Nothing wrong with that.
I couldn't believe when I went to get stove. It blows my mind the streets in the city that they don't even run a truck over. There's like 6.5 inches of snow on residential streets, so I'm in my friggin' Corolla floating. It was a good time.
Oh,
Cumberland is even bad, and that's a
It's a pretty it's a pretty
busy
significant
street.
Well, and I'm like, I want my street. It's not even my street. My old street that I used to live on, and I haven't moved yet. People listening to this will know I'm moving, so I don't care. But it's not even done. But it's like packed down enough that you're not even that scared. But the one I'm on like now, it's not packed down.
Yeah.
Like it's like no one goes on the street, so it's just like a icy mess. Like
when I went to pick up Stover, there was a handy bus, like not like a kid's short bus, you know, and it was in the 6-inch ruts, like pulling a fishtail, and I'm like, oh, this poor.
My favorite story about Saskatchewan driving is that I was in grade 9 and I had one of the senior wrestlers drive me to cities, and they were about she was in grade 12 and she was racing someone, and not racing, the guy tempted her in going faster, and there was these huge ruts. I remember these huge ruts, and she tried to turn out into the out lane, and she spun her back tires, and all you could hear from the car is ah! And I was like, I thought I was going to die. And I was like, and I pulled
One of the most horrifying sounds I've ever heard.
Yeah, Stove, you sound like you're really scared, man.
And then it stops, and I was like, I felt myself and made sure I was alive. Like, made sure everything was there.
That was almost like when Brent and I almost died on our way out to Kalonza one time.
I can't say I remember that.
We were driving out there and with my ex on our way out to a party, and
and the window started fogging up.
yeah, no, it wasn't even that. She was just dumb. No, she was just dumb.
What
She
I'm
didn't know
now
what she was
wondering is
doing.
how many times have you idiots almost died on the way to Kalonzi? Was that the time the window fogged up? Was that the time that you just punched the gas, or you hit me in the dick while I was driving? Or...
No, my ex-girlfriend was actually driving, and we were on the highway, and it's just a 2-lane highway on the way out there, and she was trying to pass someone. And she passed, and there was an oncoming car.
Oh my god!
Like, yeah. Now you remember. There's an oncoming car.
That was just after Clavette.
Yeah, and we were waiting. We were like waiting for her to like turn back in her lane, and she's just like speeding up, and there's an oncoming. Like it was only I don't know how far
Probably
away
20,
from us.
30 meters away.
No, way more than that. It was about 100 meters away. Like a headlight, but they were gaining fast.
Well, and that's the thing. If
She's
you're both
speeding
doing
up.
110 toward one another, 100 yards ain't a lot of room.
No, exactly. So, and she just kept going, and Brent, grabs the wheel and just brings her back over onto our side. What? She goes.
So she still hadn't even realized. that
No,
there was a car there.
there was no. What?
I
She
think the
goes.
best-
And she was like kind of like snippy about it. It was like, Brooklyn, there was a car coming the other way.
I enjoy my life.
My favorite story of people driving this summer. Shout out to my boy, my O-lineman Scott Baker.
Bakes. I know Bakes.
He was going up a hill to I assume a party, and
He just off the record, he drives a Jetta.
it drove.
Just to let you know.
He deserved it.
Yeah, so he's going up the hill.
Yeah.
And from what he's told me, that he goes up the hill and it's a dead end.
Okay.
And he thought, oh no, yeah, I'll just U-turn it here, and he rolls the car.
Rolls down the hill.
Okay.
No more car. No more.
No,
Jetta.
no more. No
And
more.
then he gets another Jetta.
I would no. I mean, here's the thing, because again, no, Scott's a good kid, but so he's on a steep incline.
Yes.
Okay, for those people at home, I know it's a podcast. I'm an old man. I'm using my hands to talk right now. I'm sorry. But he's on a steep incline, and then as he turns it,
Because he sees a
to
dead
whip
end.
a U-turn, yeah. But he just turns it in the right way that it tips over and rolls down the hill. Now, I've got a mental picture of Baker in my head rolling down the hill.
Is it a lot different?
Okay, so now we're getting faces around the table, and none of them are as good as the one in my mind. So I need to say out loud, I'm glad Scott Baker didn't die. And I'm glad no one else was injured in this accident. But
He has a little scar. That's the thing. He has a little scar. And I'm like, oh, where did you get that from? And I was like, were you being a badass? He's like, no, I rolled my Jetta.
decided to run a one-man wheelbarrow race down a hill in my Jetta. But yeah, no, the look in his face in my mind is
And
one
I
of
lost.
the greatest four things I've ever seen. So,
Oh,
What are the other three?
I can't get into it. Let's just say this is a family show.
All right.
We'll leave it there. But no, Bake's he's that's scary, but that's pretty funny.
You know what scares me? Teenage driving scares me.
Wow.
I know.
I can't even do it, Stove. I gotta cut you off. I'm sorry, brother. Saskatoon driving in general. It's not just teenage driving.
Are you kidding me?
Saskatoon
Have you been to
driving is so
Tirana?
bad.
Okay,
Tirana.
Here's the thing. Yes, I have. And so traffic in Toronto. I've only driven in Toronto twice. Everyone is in a hurry all the time. You know that everyone's in a hurry all the time. You know when there's gridlock, it's going to be no movement for a long time. Everyone's aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so it is what it is. Calgary, again, everyone's in a hurry all the time. You're aware of it, you're ready for it. But I have never, in a city I've ever driven in, including down in the States, seen people do dangerous stuff to save like 8 seconds.
If that.
Yeah, if you're driving down Broadway and you have green lights, you can almost bet that at one of those intersections, some guy turning right on a red is going to cut you off. Mm-hmm. And there's no one behind you. It's just as quick for him to let you zip by and pull in behind you. It's not like there's a line of 9 cars and he can't get in, but it's just anything to save. Even the guy going faster, like in a snowstorm, and this grade 12 girl you talked about, racing him, some stranger was going faster than her in the middle of drifting snow, and she thought, well, let's do this.
No.
In his Cavalier, so she sped up her Mazda.
No, actually, both. It's actually like 2 SUVs, and I felt really safe.
Okay.
But her shitty Jeep decided to be the shitty Jeep.
Okay,
Jeeps aren't shitty though.
Jeeps, yeah.
You cannot. There's anything associated with Dodge around me, or else I get defensive.
But I don't think it was a Jeep. It was like a knockoff Jeep.
Okay, in the 1980s, the Dodge Corporation put an engine in a truck that was tilted sideways, so you had to pull the engine to gap the spark plugs. That's something bad about Dodge.
Well, that was the 80s.
Yeah, okay, it's still the
A lot of stuff happened in the 80s.
That's true. Before you were all born. I hate myself. Anyways, but no, Nick, you were gonna get about young people and driving, right? Like, cause
I want to hear his take.
That was me. Is just that I have a friend, and he I don't know how he passed his drivers. He failed it 4 times before.
So he's resilient. He kept trying.
He kept trying, but he did not get better.
Okay.
And he's like. He got it off a technicality too. There was like a really bad thunderstorm, so he
pretended to cry at the end.
No, thunderstorm. Okay. So he couldn't go out on the highway so he missed that portion.
Okay.
So he got like 8 points off instead of like the 14 he usually would. So he passed it.
Oh. Okay.
But so I had my first driving experience with him this year.
Okay.
And I think he was just trying to play it up, how bad he was.
Yeah.
But he was driving home by my apartment, and there's this kind of steep turn. It's right at the end of Taylor.
Yeah, I know the one you mean, the hard one that comes around there.
Right, and he didn't even try. Like, he just went, turned from the left lane, and once you have that turn available, he just turned into the right lane and then signaled back in. I don't even think he signaled back in. Mm-hmm. I think I kind of looked at him, I'm like, why? You have 3 of us in the car, and I was like, Mom, for fun.
Were any of them female?
No.
Okay, because
was he trying to impress them?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing: guys forever have squeal tires and done burnouts and drag raced.
And drifting pisses me off.
It's just another peeing contest for guys to try and impress women.
I don't understand why it would impress a woman. Like, I don't know why. Like, seeing
why does shitty driving impress a woman?
Get some wet.
It's just tasteless, dude. Okay, because
that's not what I meant.
Look at how forcefully that guy could push the accelerator. That's so exciting to me. Nah, I don't see it. No.
No, it's
dude,
just
that's
weird.
just filthy too. but
How do you guys not see it?
but here's my thing, because to me it's very much in the same ways. We all know the guy that goes to a party looking to get in a fight, and at some level that's the most insecure dude in the room because he wants to impress everyone with how tough he is. The guy peeling out in front of the school in his brand new car, to me, that's the same creature. That's an insecure dude.
Probably the same guy.
People. Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
I
in
told
a lot
it-
of instances it is. Yeah.
I told
my
I told my
experience.
first story on here. I was at my first acreage party at the beginning of this year,
Nice.
and
Nothing wrong with
it was
that.
9 to 12s, and we didn't want any grade 13s as we call them, just
Yeah.
because it gets too much trouble, and you don't know what could happen.
Nothing
So-
better. I can tell you guys, look forward to it. There's nothing better than being a 20-year-old at a party full of 16-year-olds.
Why?
No,
I'm pretending that I've done that, dude. I've never been that guy. That's horrible. Nobody likes that guy. If you're 20, be hanging out with, go to a college party. Yeah.
but so we were like, hey man, we appreciate you coming, but we are not following any grade 13. So he thought he was a badass. So he's on gravel, proceeds from the gravel.
What's he driving?
He's driving a Honda motorbike.
A crotch rocket.
Not even a good one. I don't think he bought this off Kijiji for $800 and fixed it up.
Still a bike.
Still a bike.
bike.
But it's that crew. It's that crew who had bikes last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes from the gravel to the grass,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Speeds up on the grass, and then once he hits gravel,
Oh, so he's trying to spray it.
not even trying to spray us.
Yeah.
He's just trying to act cool in front of us because grade 13.
Yeah.
So once he gets onto the gravel, he flips his bike. He just puts his bike over, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I started laughing.
In that moment, still, don't scorn that guy anymore. That's when he needs a hug. That's when you go over and you help him up and you go, "It's all right, bud, hug me."
Sounds like something my brother would do.
Bob.
Because it's clear his dad didn't, or his dad missed ball games or something. Because again, there's a lot of insecurity in that dude. Right?
And you know what? I am allowed to laugh at him because
Oh, no.
he was being an
Totes.
absolute
D-bag.
doucher to
Yeah.
the guy hosting the party. Because he's like, you might have heard about this party, but we don't want any grade 13s. And you know what? That's fine. But as we talk about driving and parties and being 20-year-olds at 16-year-old parties,
Awesome.
maybe we should go to something a little bit more serious. And I know this is about a week and a half late, and I'm going to turn on my NPR voice here, but let's talk about the U.S. elections. And I'll start it with this story.
Here we go.
The night of the election, I posted just an observation, not who I want to win or what the issues were. I just made a simple observation because I watched a bit of CNN that night, and they had little campaign clips running all night. And it seemed like Romney was going off the similar, I won't say the same, similar campaign that Obama did in 2008, where it was about change and hope. And that was just an observation I made. That was just an observation because maybe the Republicans maybe that will work, and this will help all the young kids think we're all cool with all of our women's rights that we have.
Well, I think
That's said sarcastically.
when
if you
somebody
didn't get that.
when somebody's going up in an election against somebody who's already been in office for a term, who doesn't promote change? I mean that's really how
Everybody everywhere does that.
you win over. That's how you win over all the people who aren't happy with the way that Obama was running things. You come in and you say, look, there's hope for our country. We can change things around, and I can help do that.
I just thought it was an observation because I didn't want to pay much attention to it. I paid little attention. I wasn't reading into it as much as I did that night, which makes me very inactive making a comment about it. But that's also another thing I hated. People 3 months or 2 weeks before, yeah, man, election. Haven't watched any of the debates. There's a couple kids I know that were like that. They're 2 weeks before, oh, I like this Obama guy.
Well, the day after was worse. All the pictures on Facebook, and the next day at school.
Once you go black, you never go back. I'm like, okay, true, he's African American, but in 4 years
he's He's a Kenyan socialist, Marxist, communist. Sorry,
Actually, if you watch
that's
that,
all the stories they've told.
If
yeah.
you watch that Chris Rock clip, he's white.
Oh,
He's the white man. Have you seen that?
I haven't, but I'd like to. That sounds hilarious.
His name's Barry, the third whitest name in the world.
That's right.
I'll show it to you later.
But no, I mean, and here's the thing. So first thing about the types of campaigns that run. Do you guys know what the word archetype means?
Yep.
It's like a type of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to throw the term out, but there are certain archetypes you can run as a politician, and Nick, you made a great point. If you're going against someone who's holding the office, you have to criticize what they have done as wrong, and you have to offer yourself as an alternative. So hope and change is one of those archetypes, and that's what Obama ran on in 2008, right?
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Obama was running after 8 years of Bush.
Yeah.
So there need to be.
Here's the thing. I'm going to use double entendre here, but 8 years of Bush could be awesome. Like Brad Pitt, 7 years in Tibet, 8 years of Bush. That would be great. But,
like a movie?
No, I mean in your life. 8 steady years of action.
Bush.
Euphemism.
Trim?
Thank you. Trim. Yes.
Trim. It's not Bush. It's trim.
I apologize.
It's trim.
I don't know the swag terms.
No, but 8 years of Bush, and they gave Obama 4 years to clean up 8 years of Bush.
And I mean the other thing too is
That's a lot.
That's a lot of Bush to clean up.
the one thing that really
That's like the 70s.
the one thing that really blew my mind about this.
Wow, chicka, wow,
Okay,
wow.
dude, I'm so sorry for making the first Bush pun. I take full responsibility for every other Bush pun ever. My bad.
Regular thing, Bush puns on the stove show.
Hey,
Tune in next time.
well, we'll make Bush puns. All right. Oh shit. Anyways. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. One of the other issues with Romney about this one, Stover, you were talking about not really being sure on where he stood on issues.
Oh, he's so flip-floppy.
It's a fair criticism. No one was. Because, I mean, to win the Republican primary, he had to convince all of the big corporate money behind the party, I'm a true conservative. And so he badmouthed Latinos, and he badmouthed illegal immigrants. And have you guys the term anchor babies?
Mm-hmm.
Immigrants are going to break in pregnant and have their baby in the States, so that baby's a naturalized citizen, and then they're going to take over the country. What? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And so he went about as far right as you could in all of his ideas. And then when it got time for the general election, all the Obama campaign had to do was pull out these tapes and go, yeah, here's you hating on Mexicans. Here's you telling women they shouldn't be
Funny
able
he
to
hates
get
on
birth
Mexican.
control.
Funny he hates on Mexicans when his family's from Mexico.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, even that, like, it
Sounds like the average American, though.
It was a bizarre campaign, but yeah, South Park said it best, I think. Around the Iraq War, they did an episode, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
Yep.
And at the end, the conclusion they got to was the history of this country is saying one thing and doing another. So that's kind of rolled into the way they play their politics, at least, for sure.
And am I glad Obama is in power? Yes.
Yeah.
I am very more... I think I said libertarian. That might be the wrong word. That might be wrong, but I am very open to what people want. But I will say libertarian, very left leaning. People.
And here's the thing: libertarian is a great term. Okay, do you know who Ron Paul and Rand Paul are?
Yeah.
Okay, they're the big libertarians in the States. And
Gary Johnson.
well, and the problem with libertarianism as it's been embraced down there is that it's I want freedom for all the stuff I like. I want the government to keep doing the stuff they do that I like, and I want them to stop doing absolutely everything else. So, I mean, everyone forgets. Military spending is the government spending money to protect the country. A true libertarian hates that.
Which doesn't make sense.
And here's the thing. I will give this to Ron Paul. He's crazy. I disagree with his policy. I shouldn't call him crazy. That dismisses him. But I disagree with his ideas, but he stands by them. He says, yeah, we're spending way too much on the military. Let's cut that. There are a bunch of people that say they're libertarians and only want to cut things like environmental controls for the oil field. And they only want to cut, we need to log our national parks. Well, that's not libertarianism. That's not the government getting in your face. And the funny thing is, on the Republican side, it's the same group of people telling women they can't get an abortion if they choose to.
Wait, I thought we said we weren't going to talk about that.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I was told no abortion talk because I've talked about too much abortion.
We've talked about 5 minutes. I think you even brought it up.
I did think I did bring it up. But here's the thing. That was another big issue. Was
women's rights. And that's why I made the joke about it. And women's rights is important. And people say, I hated this day after, like, we were talking about how the media, like, why should people care about what, because there shouldn't be any difference. I'll rephrase this. There shouldn't be any difference between Latino rights and black rights and women's rights and gay rights because we're all the same people. Mm-hmm. But, and I'm always the counterpoint, it seems like. those are people with different needs. A gay person needs different needs, like the wanting to be married.
Yeah.
As in a Latino person might need some needs that I don't know of because I don't know much about the Latino people. Yeah. But I definitely, and I won't say definitely, I'm about 95% sure there was needs. Women's rights, and people are saying, oh, it's no different than like why isn't there the man's perspective? Why isn't there the white perspective? Why isn't there the straight what the straight people need in this election? What I'm like, because we're a majority and we kind of already know what we want.
Well, and again, like. Sorry, I feel like I'm hogging time or talking politics because it is one of my judgments.
He just got mad at me.
Keep going. I'm gonna jump in a bit.
Okay, because I mean the thing for me is there's a difference when you talk about every country that has a constitution has a goal saying like that's what a constitution really is. These are the absolute basic rights that every citizen has, and so I agree what you're saying, Stove, that when there's an election. Everyone in the population looks at the election from their own perspective and what their needs are. That makes sense. The goal of a constitution, though, is to make sure that certain rights are inalienable and everyone has them. Yeah. So the second you deny gay citizens the right to have full marriage rights, okay, they're citizens. They were born there. That's a right everyone else has. They should have it. Back in the day when you're talking about black people voting. Okay, that was the big issue, really, and 80 years of Jim Crow laws stretched that conversation out, right? And so in those moments, oh God, did I lose my train of thought?
I think you did.
I think I did in explaining Jim Crow laws. Oh, sorry, that's what it was. Yeah, black people, they were citizens. They were born here. Okay, their ancestors were brought there against their will, but they were all born in the United States. They're African American people, and every citizen has the right to vote. So, and that's the thing. It's when you start deciding which citizens get which rights that it becomes a problem for you. New York City is a great example. If you're black, you're going to get patted down in New York City. Mm-hmm. They have that new law where cops can just look at you and go, yeah, we're going to give you a frisk just to make sure you're not doing anything. And 85 or 90% of the people African Americans. So that is those are citizens of the country that are having their civil rights massacred. And as a white guy, the Arizona law about show your papers, I was tempted to go down with a camera and just walk around in like the richest part of white Arizona and just walk around for about 8 hours to see how long it took to someone. Hey, do you have papers to prove that you're American? Well, actually, I'm Canadian. No.
Just have like a big shirt saying I'm a Canadian, and like have these Canadian track pants.
And to me, like that was the biggest thing about this election is the conservative bubble got broken. They all believed they were going to win. They didn't think the Latinos would remember that they had been bad-mouthed in the primaries, and they didn't expect the women to get as upset. Romney honestly thought he could run his wife out and she'd give a few speeches and that would calm the women down. And it's because they live in this conservative bubble. If you just watch Fox News and you just read the papers that you agree with, and you're just looking at Rasmussen polls that are all skewed about 5% toward the Republican side, you honestly thought he was going to go in and win in a landslide. And then when it didn't happen, they were like, what?
Well, they were like, oh no, he's going to win Florida, he's going to win Ohio. And you know what, I'll give them, like, I won't give them it, but like winning Illinois, important for them, and winning North Carolina, because they got those two back.
Yeah.
But they needed something else, and they're not going to get it back. Like, I don't think they're ever going to get Florida back. I don't think they're ever going to get...
Well, and as you look at population demographics, the states is going to get more and more blue. And that's really where the Republicans are stuck. They have turned their whole party towards business and essentially wealthy, powerful white folks.
Yeah.
And they lost the middle class along the way. People aren't voting their religious convictions as much as they used to. They were always the party of Christianity, and not that that's a bad thing. I don't mean to diminish any people from those lines of thought, but people, like, I mean, again, birth control was an issue in the 60s. How does it become an issue in an election in 2012? It's ridiculous to even be talking about it.
It really shouldn't be.
Yeah,
like,
we had that argument. Why are we bringing it up again?
Well, and we had an argument before, like, any of us were born. Like, why is it an argument people already should have figured that out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff that should be figured out a lot earlier. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just
conservatism. As you get older, it looks scary to you, and you long for those golden days when you were young. I'm old enough to already look back and go, "Oh, these kids, they don't know what they're talking about."
I love Tupac.
Actually, I don't.
No,
To change.
Boogie Down Productions. No,
we can. I don't love Tupac either, and
he's alright.
hate me for it.
But-
Hate me for saying that I don't like him.
So yeah, so I mean,
Who else do you don't like?
I
Who
don't
else?
like
Go.
Biggie or Tupac. I prefer Big L and Big Pun.
I'm not a big pun guy. I like Biggie.
Biggie's okay. Biggie's got the really unique flow for his time.
They have a couple good songs. I'll give them that.
But they're
not my cup of tea.
so overhyped up.
But I mean, and again, because I have to cut in there, I think overhyped. They were significant.
Well, it would be like
They did important things.
I understand.
They were trendsetters. They built the road.
It would be like I know that, but actually listening to their music, like it's nowhere near like Tribe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like if you compare it to stuff like
Yeah.
that,
For sure. Yeah,
and or like Rakim
yeah,
and stuff like that, like still around the same era.
Honestly,
but
one of my favorites all time, and it didn't have a great lot to say about the world, but the first Method Man Redman CD is great.
Yeah.
And it's not one that people talk about as one of the greats.
I think
it's 36 Chambers.
36 Chambers. I had a story. I was at variety night at my school, and it was a great variety night. A lot of good acts, a couple bad ones. Won't mention them on air. I'm a good kid. But after the show, I was hanging out with one of the performers, and he's a beatboxer, Castillo. I screwed that up. Sorry, man. But he was beatboxing. He started doing the intro to Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. And I just go off on Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
In the crowd at your school variety night?
No. After.
All parents
cool.
covering their kids' ears, looking at you.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? That image in my mind is almost as cool as Baker rolling down the hill in his Jetta.
You whip off your shirt too and just start running right up to little 6-year-olds. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Putting the W right in their face.
Ghostface inside. Dr. Doom. I go off now. I've been practicing that last day. But I've been
practicing your Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
Give it a
Important skill later in life.
Everyone's going to use that one day.
Let me hear your old dirty bastard. Yes, you get the job.
ODB.
Hey, do you know what? Shout out to ODB. Big Baby Jesus.
Shout out to all of them.
To the clan.
To the
Four white guys in Saskatoon toasting the Wu-Tang Clan, and we spill friggin' Sprite Zero.
Nothing in it, just Sprite Zero.
I've never felt whiter in my life than I do in this moment right now.
He spilled some for the lost homies. He poured
There's a little Sprite Zero for the ODB. Do you know what? If he'd stuck to Sprite Zero, he would have had a better run. But I digress.
You know what? It's weird. Why is Sprite the official drink of hip hop? It always has been. BET Television. Sprite is the official drink of hip hop.
We went through this.
Like if you watch all the ciphers, they always hold up like Sprite logos, and they gotta put Sprite. Sprite logo somehow in the videos.
The official soft drink of rap music? Really?
It's weird because it's white.
It's so.
They're drinking it.
Man, I should start promoting like Dr. Pepper, the official.
Well, I mean, that would be a much
black.
more blended. I mean, I did speak to a lot more people. I was completely unaware of this. Like, I mean, Source Magazine. I don't read that stuff. I'm old. Yeah, I'm an old fart. But yeah, no, I didn't realize Sprite was like the drink of hip hop.
But we got time. We'll quickly finish this. I think we can all agree that we're happy that Obama's in for another term. Well, maybe he can do some stuff. Maybe he can have a better run.
When you look through all the flip-flops to see what Romney was saying, it was a lot of the same policies Bush had. And no matter what your beliefs are, in 8 years they didn't work for him. So how would another 4 years of them help? So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm happy that Obama is in. Hopefully he does his job. And it's good to see places like, hey, awesome to see Colorado legalize hemp farming. And that's the only reason I like the marijuana law. And Washington legalizing hemp farming. Because that's the only reason I'm liking that law.
Hold on, here's the thing. I mean, regardless of what your stance is on marijuana, it's going to free up police officers to investigate real crime. I already saw on one website in Washington alone, just in the Seattle area, there are 350 cases of marijuana possession that they just dropped. And it saved them $4.5 million of city money just in the court time, like to have the judge there and to run all of these cases. So I mean, just so police can focus on real crime, then there you go. I'm not getting into that debate. That's a personal view for different.
Hey, I like that I can buy hemp force protein from On It. Hopefully, I can actually get that. That should be our first book.
Hemp linens,
paper,
lotion.
Maybe we can get a laptop made out of hemp plastic. Like,
no, and it's cheaper.
It's cheaper,
and it's it's a great resource to have. And not only like their crime rate will go down, because like smoking marijuana is not a crime.
Yeah.
Whether it's legal or illegal, it's not a crime.
And again, whenever I've mentioned on the show before, I work with young people. Anytime this issue comes up, I be honest with them, and I say, I obviously don't think it's a great idea for young people to smoke weed.
Yeah.
It's very comparable to alcohol in that way, and that used responsibly, it can be something that doesn't hurt you too much.
Do you know what I found interesting? The study that came out a couple months ago saying that marijuana does dumber you.
Dumber you.
Okay, anyways,
how much you been smoking stove?
None. That makes you more dumb and lose brain cells. And
the study that I know the one you're talking about.
And
it said used in your teen years.
Yeah, between the ages of like 13 to 21.
It was like a British study, something like 11 or 1,200 participants.
Yeah,
so it's a significant, well done scientific study.
But
a range of what was it? 4 to 7 IQ points.
Yeah,
by age 25, which is when your brain kind of stops.
Well, and the thing is, most interesting part, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And Nick, don't.
No, I'm not eyeing Joe Rogan. I'm just eyeing the fact that how intelligent he is, and how I just have a feeling that I know what's coming up. Just continue.
No. He agrees. He agrees with that whole study because he says the science that the rough ride research that makes sense because your brain's still growing and it doesn't make sense for me, and I agree with the study. Now let's take it like that. A guy who extremely. Like, I wouldn't say militantly, but does support marijuana.
He's pro-marijuana.
Very pro-marijuana.
For those people that don't know Joe Rogan, he was a comedian and actually quite successful in his early 20s and the 90s. Had never touched weed, was actually kind of a workout nut, and then started smoking heavily. I think he said he was 27 or 28.
28, and he's still the workout nut. He's yoked.
Well, and here's the thing. His stand-up has gotten better. He's been more successful as a performer doing side things like the podcast that he has and the other stuff he's doing on the side. He's not as well known as when he was on
commentator,
all the UFC
Fear
stuff.
Factor.
And so here's a guy that can obviously have a successful career in his industry using this responsibly. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, good on you. But for every person that can do that, there's probably 4 or 5 that can't.
Yeah.
And the thing for me is because even just the effect of the drug on your brain, you guys know burnouts. I know burnouts. Yeah. We know burnouts. And if your whole life is blazing,
you're annoying.
Even just outside of what that's doing to your brain, just how much are you missing by living in your basement and not doing anything? And you guys know my story. I had a period in university where I got a little out of control with it. I had quit drinking and I replaced booze with weed. That's what I did for about a year at uni.
I could not do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the wake up moment for me, mate, was when I realized that I was rushing home to blaze up. When I had buddies saying, "Hey, let's go throw a frisbee, let's go do this," and so I was missing life because of this, and that's when I cut it out. And there's been sporadic times it's popped up. You're at a bachelor party or something, and okay, I feel safe enough to do it here, but it's not, it's not something that I certainly endorse. Mm-hmm. But looking back, for me, what kills me is when I see young guys that all they do is blaze, and girls. What are they missing out of teenage life because they're in the basement? Or they're they're just so focused on getting stoned that they're missing all the other things that you could do.
But also, I think there's more for a comic joke. But I was on Facebook. I think that all stoners are also like MacGyver because I saw one of them use a Coke can as a water, and I was just like, wow! I was clapping. I'm like, you guys are MacGyver. I was here.
The first time I've ever seen that.
Oh yeah, people that are right into that can make a pipe of it.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, whoa. Yeah. Look who you're talking to.
Yeah, okay, you're a bit of a naive guy in that front. That's
not first party was June of this year. Let's
Okay, now I want to jump in on this conversation real quick.
June of this year.
June of this year.
I was there. We were both there.
No.
I didn't know that was his first party though.
No, that was I had 2 weeks previous. Because
Oh,
the one where you. I won't even say it.
No. Okay, no, say it. I'm okay with it.
Watered down your beer.
Yes, I did do that because
Pacing yourself. You got caught. Do you know what the trick is? Instead of watering down your beer. Oh, wait, I shouldn't be doing this. This might get me in trouble. If you take club soda with some lime juice, looks like a gin and tonic. You're good all night.
No. You know what? You know what's awesome is that it's not because I didn't like it. It just tasted terrible for my first time. Is that
it does for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't deal with it. So I went inside. I grabbed a red Solo cup and I put half. Guy walks up to me. What are you drinking, Stove? Have a rum and coke. Like it was rum and beer or Coke and beer. He's like he started making fun of me, and then he proceeded to pass out, and I proceeded to teabag him.
Oh, wow.
All right, the visual picture on that story just took a quick left turn.
I love that party because that was my first part.
Because you teabagged some dude?
Oh.
I don't even remember, Brent. When was the first time that you ever took me to a party?
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
God, I'm going to have to tell this story.
I'm gonna have to.
The first actual party that I ever went to was in Willow Grove.
Kyler's
party.
What happened there?
What happened? One.
Oh yeah.
We met up with some guys.
Okay, how
there.
old were you guys first? Set the scene, fellas.
15 or 16.
I would have been in grade 9.
Okay.
So yeah, grade 10. I was 15.
You would have been 15. And I would have been about 14. And we were looking for something to do that night. And I drank before, but I never actually been to a party. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you out to a party tonight, and this and that." And so we get there, and I don't know. We walked in, and
they're playing Mortal Kombat.
yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, we walked in, and they had the Xbox going, playing Mortal Kombat.
10 people sitting around the TV, zoned right out.
Yeah, and that wasn't everybody, but we walked through the house, and sitting in the kitchen. And then Brent went out for a smoke, and we ran into Saki.
Okay, and I think all people could say, between the ages 14 to 18, you drink whatever you can get.
Oh yeah.
And if they had Saki available.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a nickname of someone I didn't know.
No, it is.
It
is.
Oh,
what do you think Saki is?
There's Japanese rice wine that's called Saki, dude.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you guys were you were drinking Saki.
No, we ran into a buddy of ours, and we started rapping, freestyling.
Nice.
It was bad.
Came back inside. People were playing sociables, so we got into that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Great loaded.
I forgot about that.
Haven't played.
Thumb card always gets me.
No, don't. It's bad idea.
Drinking games in general. Again,
what was the one we played at the
We
lake?
were going to play. Me and my friends were going to play the UFC drinking game. So here's.
Sociable.
No. It's watching UFC. So here's some of the rules.
Okay.
Cards down.
Every time Joe Rogan says oh, he has an underrated grappling game because he says it all the goddamn time.
That's his line. Okay.
Yeah.
The dictator. Every time somebody gets assassinated or there's a racial comment made.
Okay.
You're done.
You're done.
I've done that for a Japanese zombie movie called Wild Zero. You drink when. What is it? When a zombie's head explodes, when fire shoots out of something, when one of the Japanese cast says rock and roll because they're all greasers, when anyone combs their hair. There's
Rock and roll.
If you ever want to see a horrible movie, that's awesome. Guitar Wolf. Wild Zero.
Super bad. Whenever they make a boob reference.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Just a sexual reference in general.
You wouldn't stop drinking. But again, that's what I was going to say with Stove, was that's my problem with drinking games in general. What I like about being an older dude now is that when I go to a party, I'm sipping a few.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not getting trashed, right?
Sipping a 40.
Yeah. I roll in with my 40 ounce and my bitch on my arm. And I bust a mad rhyme.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through this. Take one drink when scores a takedown.
Okay, hold on. I in no way endorse the UFC drinking game. I just
no, this is not endorsed. Okay, someone passes guard, so guard is when they.
Yeah.
Okay, so You hear a strike land as well as see it.
Okay.
Oh.
There is blood.
Pretty steady.
The camera finds an attractive woman or man, whatever you like. This includes Octagon girls.
Oh.
Okay? You see a gladiator. Dana White appears.
That's once in a blue moon, though. You'd have to drink your whole drink.
A celebrity at ringside gives you a clenched fist pose. Like, okay?
Yeah.
You hear Kid Rock.
He endorsed Romney, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kid Rock.
You hear French Canadian hip hop. You hear a lot of that this weekend. Excited for that fight. You see someone in the audience wearing one of those goth puke t-shirts.
Goth puke.
I'm
out of touch.
tap out shirts.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay, there's a timeout due to a nut shot.
Nice.
Turbo Boost drink once for every person, company, or deity thanks during a post-fight interview.
Wow. That just sounds like way too much.
Okay,
Yeah.
2 drinks. He's in trouble, Mike. And this is when Joe Rogan or Mike Goldberg says it. He's in trouble, Mike. Here we go. On the button. Bring it on, come on. That's one of the refs that says that. Dropping bombs. We are live. So you take one right at the beginning.
Are
Live! I'm here with a very happy fighter name. So you have to take one at the end of every fight. That thing is deep for like
lacerations.
or for like a submission. Like take an extra drink, 2 drinks anytime you hear someone drop the F-bomb. Because they uncensor it during the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
3 drinks. I think he's going for the omoplata. I just wanted to go out there and fight my fight. That was a big knee.
Loser speech.
Never leave it in the hands of the judges.
Loser speech.
Well, no, that's the
Dana White
commentary.
says that at the start of every Ultimate Fighter.
I'll fight anyone they put in front of me. I want to apologize to blank. Ever evolving ground game or looking for the finish.
Okay. Because I mean, here's the thing. To me, that sounds like you would never watch the fight. You would just be steadily pounding.
4 drinks. There's more.
Oh,
There is a
Jesus, more?
There's a TKO or a fighter taps out.
Okay.
Finish your drink when there's a first round stoppage. A fighter goes to sleep either by choke or KO. A belt changes hands. Rogan makes some kind of reference to genitalias.
No, does it have to be more than one genitalia? It has to be genitalias.
Both.
Plural. Okay.
Or Michael Buffer does a 360 during the fighter introduction. Because he'll do a 360.
Oh yeah, he'd be looking at one guy and then. And in my blue corner.
Pour half your drink on the ground when anyone utters the word pride, which was an old Japanese organization that the Zufa bought.
Okay.
And
For the dead homies.
For old dirty bastard.
ODB.
We might have to pour out some Sprite before every show for ODB.
But yeah, and I was thinking, I was telling my guys, like, man, we should do this. And then I thought about it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, no.
we shouldn't.
No, we'll end up like my friend, get passed out and one of us won't do it and get teabagged.
Oh, when I'm on the verge of passing out, I know when it's time to leave.
Yeah, you're always.
I'm usually standing until I get into my room and take my clothes off.
Except for Big John's party. We're sitting
That
there,
was you.
We're
You
sitting
passed out.
No, we're sitting there playing Black Ops' mom. So you guys wanting to leave? You and I look around. Everybody's gone. John's asleep.
What time of the morning was it?
Oh,
2.
like 3.
Yeah,
like 3.
Okay.
Everybody else left. And
Nice mom moment.
Do you need a ride home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can need one of those. No, yeah. So we're gonna go for a break real quick here.
Hello, nice to meet you, now it's goodbye. She wanna get close to me, should I? If I could've raced the past, would I? I could've never said hello and just stood by. I could've been the guy who never got hurt. Instead, I was the guy who tried to tell you you were perfect. Everything I said, it was better in my head. Now I'm looking for the answers while I'm falling into bed. I'm falling into bed without you. I can't write a song if it isn't about you. I told you I loved you and I told you I missed you. Yeah, there was issues, but I still forgive you. And after everything everything that you and I have been through. I'm sorry for the things that I couldn't give you, because when the sun goes down and it's said and done, they can't compare, cause baby, you're the only one true. Cause you're the only one I see when I close my eyes. Ooh, I must be dreaming. And you're the only one I want in my entire life. They tell me I'm dreaming. Never say never and don't ever say forever. If they meant it when they said it, then I wouldn't know it better. And I still remember when we first met, butterflies. I saw my future while we staring in each other's eyes. I didn't need a pen to see how much that I need you. I wish that I could see you, I wish that I could free you. I wish that I could be the one you wanted to be with you. If it's a dream, I'm just hoping my dreams come true. And baby girl, I would never try to pressure you. If you were in my life, I promise I would always treasure you. Any other girl in the world, they will never do. And I'm dreaming one day I could be next to you, but not likely with a situation. You need time, so I'ma try to be patient. I'ma try to keep waiting and keep saying one day we'll be back in the same place. And cause you're the only one I see when I close my eyes. Ooh, I must be dreaming. And you're the only one I want in my entire life. They tell me I'm dreaming. It might be a dream or it might be reality. Swimming upstream, I'm tearing my heart out of me. I haven't seen you in days. I try to call your cell phone when I'm awake, you ain't. Our song's still on my iPhone, it's on replay. Try to get close and you push me away. Why do I ask for forgiveness? I owe it to you. You know that it's true, I just need a moment or two. Cause girl, you know I think you're amazing. From the first time you have my heart going crazy. Maybe things aren't quite as bad as they seem. You're the only thing saving me from me, please. You're the only one I see when I close my eyes. Ooh, I must be dreaming. And you're the only one I want in my entire life. They tell me I'm dreaming. Cause you're the only one I see when I close my eyes. Ooh, I must be dreaming. And you're the only one I want in my entire life. They tell me I'm dreaming.
I believe.
Hey, we're back from the break, and you just listened to Dreaming featuring Elijah Wolmuth off Enjay's new mixtape, The Gray Area. Get it on DatPiff.
Thatpiff.com.
And we have a little new segment here, and I'll hopefully bring this up every week, because I'll find one. It's off our local Craigslist, and I find it funny. We have people smiling, and here's the ad title. Well, this Pizza plus Joe. It's a male for male seeking ad, and he's 42. 42, down with male, wants a man to come over and split a deep dish pep and extra cheese.
We probably should have read this.
It's large and very greasy. Come over and rub a slice on abs and chest.
Keep going.
Let me see your ripped arms and legs covered in sauce and cheese. Put your legs up on the couch. Let me help you rub your pizza in your pits after a hard day. You want pizza bits? I'm your man. Reply with your favorite toppings, and I will see what I can do.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So first off, Stove, I think DWN means divorced white male. I don't think it means down with men.
Okay.
But, okay, so, I'll tell you what, you go ahead. I need to pause after that.
Why don't you take
I'm
this one?
speechless. Go Stove.
You know, the fact that this takes place where I live,
Little hope for Saskatoon.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
Do you know what?
You know, that somebody with the I can't take it seriously. I don't think he's being for real.
I honestly think this is a couple 15-year-old guys that put an ad up. Because I've never heard of pizza rubbing as a fetish if it's out there.
Though, there's a lot of fetishes in this world.
That's true.
There's fetishes for watching, like, Godzilla spliced in with porn.
Really?
What?
That's a fetish.
Wow.
Yeah, that messed up.
Okay, I don't want to think about that too much. It makes my brain hurt.
Yeah.
I know, and here's my thing. We're all in this same game called life. If this is a genuine ad and this dude finds joy in the world by having someone rubbing pizza on another man, who am I to judge him? I think it's fake. I think it's kids.
But hey,
See, we talked about this earlier. How we always blame teenagers.
Yeah.
It's an easy group to blame.
but in this situation, it's a funny thing to do.
Well, I'm just looking at a funny Kijiji ad right now on my phone, and it says "Wanted, $1 million."
Thanks, tips.
I would like $1 million absolutely free with no strings attached. Email me for details.
Because he's got the deets set aside. That's gonna sell it. When that phone rings, he'll pick it up and go, "Let me explain why."
Man, what would you guys do for $1 million?
Oh,
That's a dangerous game.
that is.
Why are we playing this?
No. Go.
Honestly, I will say this right now, substantially less than 20 years ago. That's what I will say. $1 million, it's funny. Money is opportunity. I've known far too many wealthy people that are miserable. Like, just miserable. To think that money equals happiness. Now, in my life, would it be easier with $1 million? Yeah, hells yeah. So yeah, but nothing too bold, nothing too over the top.
What
for $1 million.
one thing?
I mean, I can't pick out.
Would you kiss a goat's butt again?
I didn't kiss a goat's butt. I kissed a goat's mouth,
Okay.
and it was on a dare from a friend of mine.
Would you do that for $1 million?
Hells yeah, I did it for nothing. I did it to make my buddy laugh when I was 21. So yeah, I'd probably do that again.
Okay, Nick.
And actually, it wasn't a goat; it was a donkey.
A donkey.
I open mouth kissed a donkey on a dare. Memories. Okay, what do we have here? Oh my god.
We've built a time machine.
It's a DeLorean.
I'm holding Nick's phone, and someone took a DeLorean and turned it into the time machine from Back to the Future. So that's being passed around the table as we speak.
But
that's
no,
just
the,
awesome.
the what would I do for $1 million game? I don't think you throw stuff at me and I will tell you. Stove.
Would you solicit yourself in a sexual manner towards males for $1 million?
What do you mean? Like, so
Would you be a gay prostitute? I think is what he's trying to get to.
for how long?
Like an hour.
I was expecting a firm no, Nick. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dude, am I taking or receiving?
Oh God!
You're receiving. You're the jail bitch here.
Don't use that term. To any offenders out there, we apologize for minimizing the sexual assault that sometimes occurs in prison.
Movies corrupt our minds.
That's right.
We're just teenagers. We don't know any better.
I do, and that's why I felt I had to say something.
I think when it all came down to it, when I saw the $1 million on the table, that's when I'd have to make the choice.
Really? No way.
No. Give me another one. Give me another one.
Oh, we've got. Come on. Would you, bro?
No.
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 Just a flat no.
Yep.
That's fair.
Oh, I'm trying to think like.
Man, think of all the stuff you could do for $1 million.
Okay, I don't want to be this guy, but if we're gonna play this game, I'll throw it up. Back when I worked in the oil field when I was going to university, all right? The game we played that's similar is: would you have sex with a goat at the halftime show of the Super Bowl for $1 billion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a condom, right?
Like
Yes,
in front of everybody.
In this completely.
That's the halftime show everybody's going to be watching.
Can I point out in that disgusting hypothetical situation that we would make sure to protect both you and the goat as best we could?
Okay, so during the halftime show
Of the Super Bowl.
live.
Yeah, you're looking at worldwide. I don't know what the Super Bowl pulls, but I think it's like 1.1, 1.2 million people.
So for the rest of your life,
You would be that guy that had sex with that goat.
I'd do it. I would do it
For
so
$1 billion.
fast. For $1 billion. Okay, for $1 billion, you could do so much.
I could
and
buy
on top
East
of that-
Timor.
I'll buy an island and disassociate myself.
Yeah, but okay, and here's the thing, because that's the argument that always came up when the oil field guys talked about is, I could buy my own island and I'd have my mansion and I'd have all my women there and drugs.
But
and
then why would the
women?
women want to hook up with you after you fucked a goat?
They're there for the money, and you're still the guy that had sex with that goat. And
So I
I can only
wouldn't bring
assume
any
it
women.
wasn't consensual on the goat's part, though. I think Stove, for the dynamics, the goat didn't want it to happen.
I wouldn't
Shitty.
bring it. I wouldn't
I don't want
I wouldn't
goat.
bring women. Because with that $1 billion, you can get a shitload of porn subscriptions. I'll tell you that.
But I mean,
There's a lot of porn that's free though.
I heard the
that's
flashlight
decent.
is good.
Yeah, you can just have like every single version of the fleshlight.
again, no, but
Pay for phone sex.
The mouth one, the butt one.
You said that I'm tasteless.
to me, actually, dude, yeah, no, I owe you an apology. Dude. But no, for me, this all boils down to the same issue: is would I ever have enough money to get away from what I did to get all that money?
No.
And I don't think you would.
No, you don't. Yeah, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's like the whole issue of like, I don't know, celebrities do weird stuff all the time. Like Britney Spears like shaves her head. Like that's just as
And
bad.
you'd be a YouTube star for doing that too.
Yeah, like, and
You put your own video up and then you keep raking in more cash.
And guys like us would like that guy.
Yeah.
He'd be a celebrity. He'd come into town. That guy who did that
but
goat.
guys
He's
in
the guy
town-
that fucked the goat.
But now we're getting to fame, right? Because how many of those people do that? I mean, God, reality celebrities in general.
Yeah.
Like,
The
you know,
Kardashians.
yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Kim Kardashian
Her sex
just
tape
got-
is awesome.
Oh no, it's god awful.
I
It
don't
is
think
god
I've
awful.
seen it. Do you know what? I can't claim for sure. I don't think I've seen it.
It's god awful still. How could you say that?
Kim Kardashian.
For someone
Ray
who,
J, who I don't even know who that is, really.
he's a singer. He's an R&B singer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
He's doing all right.
Must
He's
be
getting
nice.
by, yeah.
Oh,
But again, and that's the thing. To me, I think so many of those people are just addicted to the fame. It's being recognized. Kathy Griffin is hilarious to me for that reason because she'll take every horrible gig and shitty appearance and life on the D list. If she wins an award, no matter how crappy it is, she will show up and like own it. So I mean, at least she knows what she is, and I kind of respect that. But I mean, yeah, the Kardashians and Britney was just sad. Like this woman's life was falling apart around her. She's having a nervous
she's
breakdown.
doing a lot better. Good for Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Britney Spears, if you hear this podcast, I'm proud of you. You're
and
good.
what you have done in your life after that incident. in
Hey, you've
07.
gotten the Kevin Federline to no one. That's better than nothing. Kevin Federline is not that good.
I'm quitting. What's this? Sorry,
I'm quitting drinking.
Nick's showing me. Is this a Kijiji ad?
Yeah.
So he's just letting Kijiji know that he's quitting drinking.
Yeah.
What do you want to bet this guy is plastered out of his brain? He's had a moment of clarity. I shouldn't make fun of his moment of clarity. Hey, whoever's out there in Hamilton, Ontario, I hope the quitting drinking goes well for you.
420 delivery service. Healthy herbs.
Like it's a weed delivery service?
Yeah.
Okay. That's how you get arrested, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
Unless it's in Colorado, and I guess you're all right. But yeah, no, and again, to me, it really boils down to that fame. Again, those people are willing to do anything to be famous. And yeah, I mean, again, to me, I couldn't do it, even for $1 billion. No.
Really.
Here's the thing, but I'm in a position. I've got a job that I like. My lady's got a job.
Okay, no. If
She
this was
16-year-old.
16-year-old Neil, would you or Reg? Would you have sex with a goat to get $1 billion? Yeah, at 16, I probably would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's
20?
the thing. At 16, if I had said yes, how would I feel at 35 having done it? To me, that's an interesting question. Would I hate myself? Would I love myself? Would the money be enough?
Good.
That's an intriguing question.
That's a good point.
It'd be somewhat forgotten by then. Like they'd know that you did it.
I don't know, man.
But
I would drink my brain cells to make sure I forgot it.
But again, so then that's punishing yourself for this thing that you've done for
Oh,
selling out.
definitely.
for the
I'd
money,
punish
right?
myself for $1 billion. I would punch myself in the face. I'd hang myself from the top of
Those
a...
things are different. Some dude came up and said, "Hey, I will give you $1 billion if you hit yourself in the balls with this." Yeah, I'll get over that in a couple weeks. That's cool, but. To have something that big where no matter where you go, man, like I could show up on Negril, Jamaica, and the first thing that I'm gonna hear, someone will point at you and say, "You're that guy."
The goat fucker!
Yeah, and I'll be like, "Shit, I am that guy."
Okay, so I was going to throw this out to Nick.
Just say that.
Nick,
Well, no, every celebrity has lookalikes, and you just play it off.
I get that all the time.
I get that all the time. Yeah,
I just buy a T-shirt that says "I am not the goat fucker."
Sitting there with your wife and kids. Oh, don't worry about it, kids. There's a
Pictures
What's
with
he talking about, Dad?
Nick, I have one for you. So, do you know what a Japanese bondage?
Yes.
Would you do that for $1 million?
Would I be the one being bonded?
Yes. Yes,
For
I would say
million?
yes to that just because I know it's a girl doing it and it's somewhat straight.
I don't know enough about the Japanese punk.
Tied up and you get
Oh,
hot
like
candle
twine and bind
and like hot candle waxed and like whipped.
So it's like extreme.
It's like a dominatrix.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that for $1 million.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I would be like, okay, she's a girl, I'm a guy. No lasting mental.
Yeah, well, I mean, but here's
I
the
say-
thing.
I could say I
my
got with-
concern would be I don't know what I'd walk out of from that, right? Because what if because for me, what if that's like the most exciting thing I've ever experienced, and then in the rest of my life and my normal relationships, I'll always be looking for that fix. I don't know. To me, I don't know if I would. That's a tough one.
So I think we're going to quickly, or not quickly, for the next about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to talk about music. Because I think all of us really enjoy music. So let's start around the table. What has everyone been listening to? Let's start with Nick.
No, I don't want to start this time. I always start.
You always start?
You start.
Okay, so I've listened to a lot of things. Right now I'm listening hard to Classified's newest album, Middle Fingers and Handshakes, or Handshakes and Middle Fingers. That album's solid from beginning. The intro is really good to the end, because the end has a song with Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo.
Yeah.
It was
That's such a good song.
Really?
The Hangover.
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Check
It's
it
a super
I've heard 2 or 3 tracks off of it. What I've heard, I really liked.
yeah. What I was showing you before, I showed one with a really interesting flute beat.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was an interesting.
Maybe it's
concept
just
they
me
had in that
featuring
song.
Brother Ali's in that song,
Oh, nice.
and he's
Brother Ali's good. Yeah, I like
he's-
Brother Ali.
he's in that too. So.
Who else do I like? There's a lot of songs
Did
that I
some
like.
Mumfords and some.
I had a little bit of Mumford and Son, but that song's on the radio a lot. Like it's a song that everyone knows. I Will Wait. I like it.
I'm so old. I don't listen to the radio. I'm like, yeah, that's a good track. That's a banjo track.
Yeah.
It's good.
I do have Taylor Swift. I think I tweeted earlier this week. Follow me, Saskatoon Stove.
Oh,
I'm-
okay.
I'm shameless. I think I tweeted. Yeah, I like Taylor Swift. # go fuck yourself.
At least you know enough to feel shame. Yeah, I mean, my knock on Taylor Swift is that talk about something other than a breakup.
Yeah,
You know?
which I'm fine with. I can listen to her breakup songs. I'm actually thinking about buying Red. I only bought her single off Red.
Okay.
Okay. I've been listening. If you're looking for what I really enjoy, I enjoy a lot of punk. I'm a big fan of like SoCal, Pennywise, mostly NoFX, Rancid, Bad Religion. When it comes to the whole like punk spectrum, not that big of a fan of anything else. Like I like a little bit of British. I like the Clash. New York, I don't really get any like.
The
Yeah.
Ramones and stuff, like, honestly, they weren't doing anything great musically. They were important socially, and they kind of brought the movement over, and some would argue started the movement before it went over to England. But yeah, I'm with you. For me, 80s SoCal punk, and then again, some of the hardcore stuff that was happening on the East Coast, too, was pretty good stuff. Some Black Flag and that type of stuff.
See, yeah, I like Black. I'll rephrase it. I just watched a really good documentary that had punk rock. People in punk rock bands, so they had like Fat Mike from NoFX, they had Lars from Rancid, they had Brett from Bad Religion, they had Jimmy from Pennywise, they had Ron Reyes from Black Flag.
Okay, yeah.
Right at the beginning, and he's like, yeah, no, I would be a terrible father at the age of 16 because I was getting wasted in the basement of a church that I rented out for $200. And I was performing shows down there and recording, and he's like, but then I realized that it was getting uncontrolled, and I needed to go move my life. So he like lives in like Vancouver now, and like you see like them maturing. Like even guys like from Blink-182, like even as immature as they are, they matured, and like I give props to the one guy off Blink-182. I don't know his name, not a big Blink-182 fan, but you see a lot of people maturing. Like the whole movie's based off Jimmy from Pennywise. Basically, he's mostly featured, and it's right around when he quit Pennywise. And he's like, the guys weren't talking to me. Like Fletcher didn't send an email to me for like 4 days, and he's like, and then it had they were upset that I was quitting the band, which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, you've put your life into building this thing, and you've had success, and you want to see it keep going. But yeah, because what's the name of the documentary stuff?
The Other F Word.
Yeah, because it's them. It's all these guys that came up in punk rock music talking about fatherhood and as they got older having kids. And
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, so much of punk music is protest music. Like, it's angry teenagers screaming and yelling, rah, you know. And again, the edge of hip hop is protest music. You know, if you're looking at the Coup and you're looking at that type of stuff, it's angry music. And I think there's as you age, you start to get past that aggression a little bit.
Yeah, and like I think my favorite scene, and it's right at the end. Fletcher was on a radio station, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about like?" They were kind of bashing Jimmy. They're like, "Hey, man, he's not punk anymore. He wants to focus on his family." And Fletcher was like straight up like, "Yeah, but that's more important to him." And it was good to see him make that turnaround.
Well, and again, what's the essence of punk? It's standing by what you believe in. You know, and so in this moment in my life, I feel like my family is my most important thing. And all of the Pennywise fans, to conform would be to stay with the band because the fans wanted you to. To non-conform, to protest, is to do what you really believe is important, even though it might piss off a couple million people.
Yeah.
Including your best friends in the world. Like that's a ballsy act to do. So
and I'm glad the Vans Warped Tour isn't going around anymore, because I just think that's just... Last couple of years, I remember the last couple of years of it, it was absolutely, like, when I was, like, 10, 11, 13, terrible. It was, like, Billy Talent and, like, just shitty acts.
The early years of it were great, because you got big-name acts. Toward the middle of the Warped Tour run, you got great acts on the side stages. Like, they'd still get Bad Religion, and they'd still get those great older bands. But they wouldn't be the headliners. You know, Green Day was your headliner, and Billy Talent was
and you know what I will say? Green Day has awesome songs that were recorded in 1990 and 2004.
There you go.
Yeah.
Holiday.
No. Okay, give him Dookie, give him American Idiot.
Dookie is a great album. But again, to me, it's the same knock that I used to have on NoFX. And the more I listen to NoFX, yeah, they have some joke songs, but they're serious. They're pointing out some real problems. But yeah, Dookie, even for me, it's a little high school. It's a little juvenile.
But give Dookie what it is being important. I'm not saying
it's fun. It's a solid album.
And I'm saying being important to the history.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying okay to a certain degree.
Well, what I'll say is, like, Green Day, to me, in my mind, Green Day is very much like, this is horrible to say, but like Vanilla Ice is and MC Hammer were. They made punk music palatable to the mainstream audience. Big record companies could pick up a punk act. Blink-182 is a great example. The Offspring are a great example. Like, I mean, the greatest Jennifer Lost the War is the best song the Offspring ever wrote, and it's before they became huge. And it's because they kind of...
Is that before Ixnay Off the Hombre?
Oh, dude, way before. That was before Keep 'Em Separated and Smash. Yeah, it was their first big commercial album. But Jennifer Lost the War, it's a really up-tempo punk rock song from one of their demos that I think. But again, I like The Offspring. Every one of their albums had 2 or 3 stupid radio songs like American Prankster and that stuff. Ixnay on the Hombre is a great example. They had 2 or 3 songs that they played on the radio, but the rest of the album is a solid punk rock album.
Their newest one goes back to that, but even their like radio songs,
Yeah.
still, I will give them.
The radio songs in Smash were great, but what is it? American?
Rise, Fall, great.
No, but the one was Prankster, where he's like
Original Prankster.
Original Prankster. It's a
No, I'm
joke
not
song.
talking. I'm
It's
not.
like-
I'm talking about the album they released in like 09, 010.
Okay, I haven't even
The
listened
Greatest
to it.
Hits album?
No. It's,
Yeah, they came out with the newest one. It
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
What? No,
I did not like it.
It has some songs. They have, and you have to take it for what it is. It's. I will never think that bands, when they go on a bigger record label, which they did, they're on, I think, EP or one of those. I think that's record label EP. They're on a bigger label than Epitaph.
Yeah.
And I think there's always that curse that if you leave Epitaph, your album after is not the greatest. That's been proven with Bad Religion. Their album after Epitaph wasn't, when they went on Atlantic, wasn't very good. Same with Rancid. Now, Indestructible is not a bad album, to say the least, but it's not the best album they produced.
Let the Dominoes Fall, in my mind, is the best.
I like
Welcome to Wolves is a beauty too.
Yeah. So if you look at that, it's a lot of stuff where you look at music and you're like, I just get upset sometimes when I see that. Like, that's why I love NoFX so much, because they've been independent for like 30 years.
Yeah, well, and they were really pushing the movement early to, come let us distribute your albums. You can still have control over your music. Like, they tried to get an underground movement of the artists really putting their own work out, Fat Records, etc.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. And that's where Green Day is important. They started out a pretty solid punk band, and then went to where the money was, and that's the thing. Like even American Idiot, it's a good rock album. It's a good concept rock album. It's not a punk rock album. You know.
And I will say the phrase, I will not call Green Day punk, but I think they were instrumental in making punk what it was.
Yeah.
You give them that distinction. But the funny thing about Blink-182, I'll just throw this a little bit of tidbit, a stove fact, if you will. On their demo tape they sent to Atlantic, they did a cover of NoFX The Longest Line, which was... I love I love anything from NoFX. If you...
Separation of Church and State is probably my favorite single.
Oh, The Bruise.
Yeah.
You have The Bruise, you have Don't Call Me White, you don't...
I love that song.
Anything from Punk
I feel that song.
You have Punk and Drublic.
Yeah.
You have two Hebes, A White and Bean.
Yeah.
Those are two great albums. I don't really like anything before that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Ribbed or Maximum Rock and Roll.
They started out as a hardcore band and really turned into a melodic punk band.
Well, and that's two Hebes, A White and a Bean.
It's still pretty hard.
Well, but that's the first album without Heffy as a guitarist. Yeah. So that's where they got the melodic. And then they have... I can't remember the name of it right now. You have their third album, which was...
War on Error, is it?
No, there's
that was fourth or fifth. I can't even remember, mate.
I'll look up. But then you have War on Errorism, which is a great album. And then you have Coaster, and you have... Coaster's a great album. Very underappreciated. A lot of people hate it on it. I like it. And their new self-entitled sounds like a Pennywise...
It's supposed to be really good,
It sounds like a Pennywise Bad Religion album.
I need to get it. I've been spinning. They did the 26 greatest songs ever written by us. Like they picked what they thought were their best 26 songs and been spinning it. Love it. So I need to get the new album.
Yeah, what have you been listening to?
Oh man,
you were next.
Mumford and Sons. That's why when you brought it up, I touched on it. I've heard a couple tracks here and there. A newer band that I like. Oh man, what have I been listening to?
That reggae chick.
Oh yes, well I talked about Santa Gold the last time. It's like techno reggae, and that's the thing. Like for me, most of the music I hear, it's like, oh yeah, that reminds me of X. Mm-hmm. When I listen to her stuff, it doesn't remind me. Oh, do you know what? David Byrne, and what the hell was the chick's name? She's got this. It's a new David Byrne album. So David Byrne, the guy from the Talking Heads, but he got together with a younger woman named St. Vincent. It's very new rock. But it's really, really interesting stuff. I saw the one track on the Colbert Report, and then went on YouTube and looked up a bunch of them. But it's really, really cool stuff.
Is it similar to what Page did a couple years ago?
Oh, I know you mean Robert Plant and Krauss, Alison Krauss and Robert Plant. Yeah. Very different musically, but the same idea. Kind of an old heavy in music and a young talented female musician. I don't know if David Byrne and St. Vincent are together because I know Alison Krauss and Robert Plant were a couple.
Oh, really?
Are a couple, I think.
Good for him.
Yeah, good on him. But so it was really, really interesting stuff. Very layered and sounded great. Man, what else have I been listening to? TV on the Radio's last album. They should have another new one coming out right away. It's been out for a while, but I was spinning it again in the car. It's kicking me in the brain. And they're kind of indie rock, kind of with a punk edge. Really interesting stuff. Lyrically, great lyrics.
You've been checking that Macklemore?
Yeah, I went and looked online again, YouTube. For old farts like me, it's a great place to
I was making a joke. I wasn't actually serious.
Oh no, actually, last week you guys have played me a couple tracks, so I went and listened to some more of them stuff. A couple of the kids I work with are into them as well. So yeah, no, it's good stuff. Again, I think he's
sold out
a little bit, and it's just that the guy is obviously really, really talented. And so the stuff I heard from before where it was him directing, it sounds better. It feels a little directed. You know what I mean? It feels a little mainstream.
A little directed at teens and high school.
Okay, well, I will cut you off there. Thrift Shop, I don't like Thrift Shop at all. I don't, okay? But give him credit for starting over. Neon Cathedral. There's so many songs. Can't Hold Us, but that sounds very similar to what he does previously. Like, it's still him being him.
Can't Hold Us is a good song.
1,000 Hours.
Can't Hold 1,000 Hours is good too. Can't Hold Us is one of those songs where it's just like you hear it and you hear like a million different instruments and a million different background singers, and it's just like so like perfect to the last point that it's just like I don't care what he's rapping about or how it all turns out. Like he was like rapping about like good things too, and he was good, and everything was perfect in it, and it just all hit.
The lyrics had something to say. The songs came together, and like you said, it has that depth of sound. Because when I play hip hop for my wife, she likes some of it. She doesn't like, but the one thing her ear catches as not a real fan is that it doesn't sound like it has depth to it. A lot of the underground stuff.
She'd like that Can't Hold Us.
Kanye West, Dark Fantasies. In her mind, she says that's the greatest hip hop album of all time. And from a production orchestral standpoint, like what he does musically, even just using auto-tune as an instrument in that album, what he does is brilliant. And so I know what you mean, like that depth of sound, that orchestration.
Yeah. B.O.B.'s like that for me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's great. Plays all of his own instruments.
Early Outcast. There was so much going on in early Outcast.
Love you, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real.
Rosa Parks was the one I was thinking of from their first album. But even when you go back to ATLians, which was their first album, really, really deep sound. Like it's not a guy rapping over a beat. It's a song that the rapper brings in, or ties the sound together. I guess it's almost like just one more instrument in the mix, right?
That's what I like. What else have you been listening to?
For me, it's folky stuff again, right? Florence and the Machine, Ceremonials. Hey, hater if you want.
No. I haven't listened enough, so I won't develop an opinion. But the reason I had that kind of sneer on this audio podcast that no one can see is because Dog Days Are Over.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll give it what it is. She has a great voice. I just can't connect with it, and that's just me.
Yeah.
Me as a music, I have to make a emotional or some kind of connection
in my youth
to it.
I'm a musical tourist, and so like I had a period of about a year in uni when I listened to a lot of folk music. Tori Amos, still love Tori Amos, she's friggin' brilliant. Sarah McLachlan, that was the year or two that she was really big, so I was listening to a fair bit of her stuff. Florence ties back to that tradition, but again, depth of sound, right? Oh God, what was it? What the Water Gave Me. If you listen to that song in the background, there's a harpsichord that's almost playing like a 5/4 thrash beat, and so it's this really simple song of this woman with a beautiful voice, but I find myself getting amped up when I listen to it, and then when I really focus in, it's that thrash beat in the background. So the little Metallica metalhead in me is connecting to this song, but it's a harp that she's using to get it. And so that's what I mean, like the way she puts the songs together, it's very well orchestrated. Very indie rock, one loop of sound on top of the next.
Brent,
do you want to go next, or do you want?
Sorry, before you go, two more. Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers, Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. I just got those CDs, and Sticky Fingers, start to finish, is one of the greatest albums of all time. Love that one. And Exiles, the good songs are better. There's a couple misses on Exile on Main Street. But sorry, that's what it's been spinning.
As of right now, I will never get out of rap. I love it, love everything about it. There's good artists, there's bad artists, but everybody out there has their own type of talent, just not exactly what I'm looking for. But really what I'm big into right now is country.
Nice.
I just got out of like a metal phase, and now I've just gotten really big into country. I just downloaded probably about 50 songs off iTunes.
So I gotta be this guy, metal phase. What were you listening to in the metal phase?
Metallica,
Old school, like Master,
Iron Maiden.
Nice. Which Maiden albums?
Number of the Beast, The Patriot.
Nice. Seventh Son of the Seventh Son.
I don't.
It was one of my favorite albums, conceptual, but it was a cool album. Yeah, I mean, most people remember Number of the Beast. Fear of the Dark was an album that did pretty well for them. One of their later ones. So no, sorry, I grew up on that stuff.
Yeah.
Slayer.
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Nice. Raining Blood is probably the one Slayer album that I really love.
I have the same. Slayer is on that edge. It's the same edge I have for punk, where like I don't listen to Propaganda. Great Canadian band.
It almost gets too screamy, right?
Yeah.
You lose the message in the scream. That's my problem with a lot of hardcore acts.
So that's my thing. That's why I'm like, hey, Slayer, good job. The guitarist is a badass.
Yeah, Tom Araya.
Tom Araya.
Tom Araya. Oh no, Kerry King. Kerry, he's the one. Tom Araya is the rhythm and lead singer.
Kerry King is a badass, but I have to say I just don't really enjoy Slayer.
Cool. So I just wanted to get a taste of the metal you're into. So what country are you into then?
Like Luke Bryan, absolutely love him. Like his latest album that he made in 2011, Tailgates and Town Lines.
New performer? Or like
He's
relatively new?
somewhat new.
My country knowledge, I know the oldies. And
Like Tracy Bird and
well, no, like I mean for me, like oldies, Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah.
And like Willie Nelson.
He was, like-
Waylon Jennings and all the Outlaws, all those dudes. Love those guys. But sorry.
But yeah, Luke Bryan. I'm starting to get into Georgia Florida line or Florida Georgia line, whichever way it goes. I'm not entirely sure. Eric Church, another up and comer.
So what is it about the country that's grabbing you right now?
Just the way that it like. Well, I grew up in a very small town, and it's kind of like whenever I listen to it, I feel like I'm home.
Okay.
Because I kind of feel like I don't belong in the city.
Yeah.
But when I listen to that, if I can just vibe to it, and I feel like I'm back out at home, and
So it's almost like therapeutic.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Because yeah, and I mean in that instance, have you ever heard the term comfort food?
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean for me, my grandmother's fried chicken. She made this homemade fried chicken and homemade French fries every year for my birthday. That was my birthday meal. And all I have to do is eat really good homemade fried chicken, not even my grandmother's, and I'm sitting in her kitchen and I'm 10, and it's like the greatest thing ever. And so that's the feeling you get with all that stuff.
Can I make you fried chicken?
Sure, stove.
I made some Nick some apple crumble.
Was it good apple crumble?
That was awesome. Thanks.
Again, I get another hate. Last week I was hated on for not inviting you guys to
The movie night.
and now I'm getting hated on because I didn't bring Brent apple crumble.
Now you're about to get hated on by him when I tell him when I start my what am I listening to?
Okay, what are you listening to, Nick?
Well, Linkin Park has been nominated for the People's Choice Best Band of the Year.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you listen to the last podcast, you'd know that both of them bashed Linkin Park
Oh,
What?
I bashed,
What?
I bashed Linkin Park.
Why?
Okay,
Explain your reasoning in depth.
I did not like Midnight to Minutes Midnight.
Yeah.
Then it's tonight.
Okay, I gave him respect. I gave him full respect. Metamtora and Hybrid Theory, awesome albums.
Hybrid Theory, one of the greatest albums of all time.
Okay,
that might be a Kraken boost or something.
Okay,
It's a great album. It's very interesting. Greatest album of all time. I don't know.
One of them, I said, not the greatest. One of them.
Okay, Collision Theory or Collision Course gave its credit. Okay, Minutes to Midnight didn't like. 1,000 Suns didn't like. I listened to them. Okay, 1,000 Suns I didn't like. I didn't like the newest one. Living Things. Like
Here's my thing.
They're an experimental band, though.
I first off have to give my bias on why I'm naturally anti Linkin Park. First couple albums I actually liked them. You know, it was a little angsty. What was that? Oh, Papa Roach, Bad Last Resort. Have you guys ever? You know,
using my
basically,
last resort.
The chorus might as well be, my dad didn't hug me enough. He never came to my soccer game. And so like that angst, I felt elements of that in the early Linkin Park. Then Michael Bay fell in love with Linkin Park, and I'm a movie guy, so so many shitty movies with Linkin Park in the background. I think that's biased me against them.
Are you saying Transformers is shitty?
Yes, it is.
And Miami Vice.
Yes.
When he threw Numb in there.
Oh my God, Miami Vice. I grew up watching the Miami.
My
Vice
brother
show.
would beef with that.
Don Johnson was pimp. Okay, Don Johnson in his pastel suit. And the black guy, I can't even remember because he was going to be a star, but he ended up not being a star. That show was crazy. Okay, the movie, that wasn't Michael Bay though. That was Michael Mann. That was the dude that directed. Because I remember thinking it was going to be awesome, and it sucked. It broke my heart.
Who did it have? It had Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx and
Greg.
the Irish dude drinks too much.
Blonde hair.
He was in Swamp.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Thank you. Tigerland. Tigerland's probably his best movie. It's a great film. But yeah, no, and so
Really,
that's
that's Colin Farrell. That looks nothing like him.
yeah, early. Yeah, he was the lead, and he like out of nowhere got cast for that movie. But no, so that's I'm biased against Linkin Park. I will say that. What I've heard of the new stuff, they've switched it up from Minutes to Midnight. I agree with you. I didn't really like Minutes to Midnight. What I've heard of the new stuff, it's not bad. But it just doesn't speak to me. I recognize the talent. They're talented guys. They're trying new things, which I give them credit for. It's just not to my taste.
And that's my opinion too. I'm not saying Linkin Park should not get signed to a record label.
Well, honestly, I just want a chance to kick my buddy Nick here in the ribs because you jumped up like they got nominated for a People's Choice Award.
Who gives a fuck?
Just watch though. On the next album, they'll change it up again.
Yeah, and good on them. And here's the thing: obviously, fans that like them, and that's a taste thing. That's cool. This is just one cracker's opinion. But
As long as
when I think of People's Choice Award winners, I don't know, man. That's kind of
Well, I'm not saying that's a
kind
big
of a mainstream award. It's cool to win the award, and it's cool that there are millions of people out there that like their stuff. That's great, and I don't want to fault anyone that likes them. I'm just saying
I'll celebrate for
I
them.
disagree with those people. That's all I'll say.
Other than that, Royce da 5'9", Bar Exam 3.
Nice.
Yes.
The Bar Exam 3. Wow.
Good.
Takes pretty much every mainstream instrumental that's been done from the year 2000 to 2010 and absolutely destroys them all on one mixtape.
Is there a song called "In the Club"? Sorry.
Yeah.
When I think of that era, that thumping
In the
50
Club,
Cent beat,
Without
boom,
Me,
boom,
Eminem, like
boom,
all
boom.
that.
Wait,
Boom,
is it like
boom,
the In the
It's
Club diss track that he made a while back?
Oh, okay. Cool.
So he does everything
Nice.
in there. Chris Webby. I don't know if you know who that is.
Heard of him.
He's a white guy from Connecticut. He's
Can't fault
awesome.
him for that.
He's awesome.
I'm just kidding.
He's a young guy that'll come up. I don't know, that whole young white rapper style, Mac Miller and all them. It's that whole kind
I'm
of
not a real Mac Miller guy.
no. It's that whole kind of thing. Blue. Wow.
Ooh, is that the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. I
I
liked
thought you
him.
meant the song Abu Di Abu Da.
No.
Abba
Blue,
Dee, Abba
Below the
Da.
Heavens is the album.
Oh, really?
Blue in Exile. It's a rapper and a beat maker.
Really?
Can't get enough of Blue. Like, he's awesome. Listening to my buddy Rationale. Shout out to Think Rationale. I bought his album off iTunes. It's fabulous. Like, you should definitely check it out when you have time. Evidence and the rest of the guys from Dilated Peoples.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I remember
Dilated Peoples is sick.
That's they're fun.
Yeah, Clear Soul Forces is awesome. They're a group of 4 young, like really young black guys, and
Where are they from?
Detroit.
Okay.
And they have like a really old school sound. They remind me of like
Is it live music or is it beats?
no, it's
It's
beats.
beats?
It's beats. They remind me of kind of like a newer version of Tribe is like
Oh,
honestly
okay.
like what I can put it
Cool.
like different style of beats, but like the way
theory.
that they do it. Oh yeah, well yeah.
Nice. No,
Dr-
Tribe, and that's the thing. That's like 3 times you mentioned Tribe now, man. I love Tribe.
Tribe's an influence for me, man. Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill album just came out. I love that album. It's awesome.
Saying that, so does Chad Johnson. Ocho Cinco.
Yeah. Oh
Ocho
yeah.
Cinco likes that album.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
Good
Ocho
for him.
Cinco.
No, we're kind of big Ocho Cinco fans.
Oh, I
so-
remember. Yeah, no, I've heard you talk about. I think we differ in opinions on Ocho Cinco.
Have you
too.
seen me run?
I'm fast as shit.
I love him. Oh, Joel Ortiz. Again,
Yeah,
like always.
yeah,
like
like
always, I'm on my Joel Ortiz. Low End Theory, like we were talking about, I've been listening to a lot of lately. Kanye West, everything. Everything
Yeah.
Kanye has been.
When I think of him, actually, he's a really interesting cat because you see a progression again.
Yeah.
Like he was all. I mean, the first I ever heard of that dude, he was producing tracks for Nas, and it would
Yeah.
have been like what, early to mid '90s.
Yeah.
Nas had a track talking about the 7 deadly sins. Can't
Mhm.
even remember the name of the track, but it was a Kanye West song. Like hearing what he's doing now, really interesting.
Yeah. When I say Kanye West, I'm talking more. I do love the Dark Twisted Fantasy album,
Mhm.
but when I say like I'm listening to Kanye West, I'm talking more like late registration era.
Yeah.
Kanye West,
Yeah.
Touch the Sky with Lupe Fiasco,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to.
Great stuff.
Oh man, I love Late Registration. I love College Dropout. I don't really like Graduation.
No.
And then I really like Dark Fantasy. Dark Fantasy is good.
I've been listening to a lot of D Pride. His singing stuff is awesome. Like he's one of those guys who like has the main.
Is that the guy who showed me? Who said like you basically said like, hey, his rapping's good, but when he raps and sings, it's not the best.
No. I like when he raps and sings. I just don't like when he just sings.
Okay. Yeah.
He's one of those guys. The best way I can put him is like he's like a new Drake.
Okay.
So-
Is he a new Asian Drake?
Yeah, but he's young.
That's
He's
a
young.
great mental picture.
He's
too.
I think he's like 17 or 18.
And
so
actually,
that's good.
Asian Drake in my head is the kid in the wheelchair on Degrassi. Drake, but anyways, sorry. Except it's an Asian kid.
Man, I've been listening to a lot of music lately. Like just
Sorry,
And
I
instead
thought of two more to throw into the mix, and it's just people you made me think of. Childish Gambino. Been listening to a ton of his stuff. Talented dude. Oh crap! There was another one that just came to me too. Blah 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 blah. It's gone.
Hey, and
yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music lately. Like come home from school and just sit, put the headphones in, and just vibe. So I mean, Brown Can Shine. I've been listening to a lot of their music too, and like I've known it for a long time, but like all of a sudden after like a while, I got it on my phone and I just started listening to it
Well, you
all the
move in
time.
cycles, right? You go through a metal phase, and there's obviously reasons for that. Then you end up in a country phase. Same thing. Like I mean, you're so entrenched. I don't want to say entrenched. That's a negative term. But you're so focused on hip hop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Frank Ocean. That was the other one.
Frank Ocean.
ooh,
Frank
I'm actually in a hip hop
Swim Good.
one right now.
You like that song?
Was that?
Swim Good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just his vibe in general.
Songs for Women is like an amazing song by him. I absolutely love it. The beat and just how he makes fun of himself.
Yeah.
About his girl. The second verse he talks about, he's like, I'm with my girlfriend in the car and she's listening to like Drake and like she's never even heard my music before, and it's like, and then he's like, and yeah, because I don't know, I
Isn't
just
he
love
gay?
that song because yeah he's gay, but he talks about being with a girl in that song, but whatever. Yeah, but you know,
Lyrical, imagine, telling story.
at the beginning of the song, he goes, it's about like making songs to get with like females. And at the beginning of the song, he goes, every time somebody asks if I do make song for women, I say yeah. I say yeah because I can, right? And then he talks about how, you know, she started listening to like other artists and not him anymore, and he goes, and then now every time somebody asks if I make song for women, I say no, I never did. I never did. So that's a really cool song. But yeah, Frank Ocean's fabulous, man. He's good. AOTP,
The Army.
The Army.
Oh, Army of the Pharaohs. Yeah. No, I'll give you that. No, they're solid. They do that one. What's the track? The hook is. Oh, I don't know what she's doing.
Suicide Girl.
Thank you. That hook, I actually had to go and look up like
The sample.
Yeah, and it's like some weird hippie band from '66 or something.
Yeah, like sometimes you gotta wonder, like, how do these people find these samples?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
AOTP has some unreal samples like Demigods and GBC and stuff.
You know what, RZA? Like,
RZA.
I mean, RZA listened to a friggin' kung fu movie and hear a hook, or he'll. There was another one. I can't remember who was it, but they were talking about how they hear hooks, and yeah, like they'll just go out and buy old jazz vinyls or old blues vinyls, and it'll just kind of hit them. That 4-second segment is perfect, you know.
Listening to That's All She Wrote by T.I. like over and over again these past couple of days. I don't know why.
TIP. Here's the thing. Successful. I never really liked him. To me, he's one flow.
Yeah.
Not two flows, maybe, but not because two people, but each one has one flow, and it gets old pretty quick.
Yeah. You know, more Young Jeezy than I have been in a while. I mean, Young Jeezy, I got the knock on him. He's the brand.
Yeah.
Very much so, but I mean, some of those songs you can't help. You know, some of those songs, like it's like Flow Rider. Like I don't like him as a musician.
You know
I
what?
hate him, but like when sometimes you hear a song by him, you can't help but just kind of like.
I have a playlist for the song. I like it so much. Before the Great Collapse, Jedi Mind Tricks.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
I like Jedi Mind.
Oh, next time I hear Disdain. Nigga, is that a good track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Because I know you don't really like a certain artist on Jedi Mind Tricks. You know, like Vinny Paz.
When did I say I didn't like Vinny Paz?
I remember because we were
Actually, I think it was me, Stove. I'm not a real fan.
Vinny Paz is repetitive.
He's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
a little
he is
redundant,
very-
right?
That's what you said. He's
Yeah.
like, Vinny Paz isn't that good. You know,
He's like Immortal Technique in the way that he says the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
except Immortal Technique has the talent to back it up.
Yeah. And
Immortal Technique's awesome.
Well, and again, because DMX, it's the same conversation, right? DMX, you can only say my friends and I are going to kill you so many different ways. No matter how good it sounds or how great the beats are, it's going to get old. And that's kind of how I feel about Vinny Paz. Immortal Technique, he'll spread a little bit off of the conspiracy stuff, but not far.
Yeah.
It's a fair criticism.
And
he's just so ridiculous.
And his vocabulary is so widespread in his songs, and
he sounds like an
sometimes-
English teacher when he talks.
like
Like
people that
seriously.
aren't open-minded will listen to it and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't understand it," so
Yeah,
Turn it off.
Dismiss it. Yeah.
Ooh, I have one for you guys.
Yeah.
Jimbla. It's off his album Face the Fire. It's called Heart and Soul. It's you haven't heard this rapper. I have this one on you. He's an Australian rapper, Aboriginal rapper. I'll play it for you guys after. It's a good song. I heard it on Triple J radio. So it's he's in the same running as like Bliss and Izzo and
Oh, I love Bliss and
I
Izzo.
love Bliss and Izzo.
Hilltop Hoods.
Never heard of that.
Oh,
Is this all Aussie hip hop?
I love Aussie hip hop. So like
Aussie hip hop, right? Like,
yeah.
That's a weird image to piece together in your minds.
So yeah, if you guys listen to Hilltop Hoods, their latest album, Coming from the Light, Turning to the Light.
Something to do with light.
Yeah, that's a great album.
Cool.
Bliss and Izzo, I know The Sea is Rising is a good album.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song.
Yeah, and then you have Jimbla. So those are three Aussie hip hop. But I think
Hollywood Undead.
They got new masks, people. They got new masks.
They got new masks, and they released the first single off
I
that
didn't
album,
like
and
their
it
first single.
sucks ass.
Is it?
So
Yeah.
I think all hope is gone.
Here's the thing. I've heard other tracks from the album, and they're pretty solid. Like a couple other tracks. And again, I'm not sure if one was the single, but
It just got released a couple days ago, so. But no, it's pretty rough. So that's pretty much what I've been listening to, and yeah, I don't know. But anyways,
So I think we're going to end out the podcast right now. So I think we're going to end it with Scratch It off Enjay's album. Thank you for Brent for coming doing the podcast.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for Reginald for coming doing it again. He's
Pleasure
our
to be
regular.
here, as
Thank you
always,
for Nick.
gents.
And
Thanks
this is
for
the
having
end
the Stove.
of the Stove Podcast. See you guys.
take care.
NJ, baby.
Enjay!
Brah!
Yeah. Let's do it. The left hand stands right to the west land. Married to the game, bitch, please, I'm the best man. All dirty like I'm covered in some wet sand. Make it rain so I'll make it clean till they understand. Pick a side, dark side of the force. I make whack rappers split like they're getting divorced. And the source of my sorcery is course. Judge, jury, executioner. Yeah, throw 'em in the left court. More than a couple punchlines in a verse. Broken hearts, yeah, I pile 'em up in a hearse. It gets worse when you rap like it hurts. I'm a diamond in the dirt, put the fags in reverse. Feminine like they carrying a purse. Still acting like the gift was a curse. Still thinking about how to flip words. I mix verbs and shake 'em all up till the bitch burps. I guess I'm saying that I'm always on some next shit. Ladies telling me I'm always on the best shit. Nike Airs, Rolex is a necklace. I guess I'm working on some diamond on my neck shit. New kid on the block, I rock your socks. Now hurry up, quick chick, drop your top. Never fuck with a cop, but I'll mug him for a shot. Never fuck with a Glock, but I'll do it no stop. Like I'm out of my mind. Guessing I already was. No sleep in 3 days, I've been on the grind. I'm a star now, I just gotta make it shine. So bright it makes the next generation blind. They behind, what I design is mine. And I won't stop till I'm riding high. Cause the things I say so far out like I'm stretching. Pour me sugar till I'm jumping like Zeppelin. Always tighten to the max, make it better. Got dark in the booth, yeah, call me Heath Ledger. Batman, get that like a rap fan. When I'm mad, man, shoot crowds like I'm back, man. Chill the fuck out, take a seat. Got a lot of work to do for a place in me that's make-believe. Funny, that's the name of this rap shit. Bar after bar, cross it out, then you scratch it.